All right, I want to talk to you about the importance of setting your budgets before you set out on starting your business. Good afternoon and welcome to In the Car with Clint. I was on the phone with a friend of mine earlier today and we were talking about his business. And I know I've spoken about budgets before, but I really don't think enough people are setting budgets and then watching their numbers real time. And I think that's why we're getting to the end of a period, financial year, whatever it might be, and there's disappointment, sadness, regret, because it's very easy to do a full year and turn over $500,000, and then you get to the end of the year and you've made 20 grand and you should have made 50. And once that's gone, there's nothing you can do about it. And so what I said to him and what I encourage anyone out there to do if they are looking to be successful in business is to set the roadmap before you start driving, right? And the analogy I used with him was like, you know how to get home from somewhere and you just start driving, but you throw Google Maps up on your screen while you're driving, and it helps you navigate things that you may not have been prepared for, and it ensures that you get there the most efficient way possible. And so by setting a budget before you start, you'll be able to pick up where the gaps are. And an example might be that you build out your budget with your revenue goals or your expected turnover, all the costs that might make up that. So you'll have obviously your insurances and your rent if you are renting a building, your cost of goods underneath that, above that, and then wages, work cover, all that kind of thing. And then you'll have a line down the bottom that says how much you're meant to make. And the idea is that you look at that before you even start out and go, is that result something that I'm comfortable with for the amount of risk and effort that I'm putting in to run this business? And it's not all about money. Obviously, sometimes people will do a certain job because they enjoy it, or they're looking to, break into a new market and they just have to break even or lose money for a period. But regardless of what it is, if you know what it is and you look at that piece of paper or that Excel spreadsheet and it's not in line with your wishes or your hopes, then you need to make changes to that and tweak the budget before you start. So it might be a case that you need to put your prices up slightly. It might be a case that the desired location that you want to be is just a little bit too close to the city, and you don't really need that fancy building. And then you can bring your rent down by $20,000, and then you might bring your bottom line profit up by $20,000. And so you do that, set the roadmap, and then review it, make sure you're comfortable with it. Once that's set, then you're going to spend whatever the frequency that you're comfortable with, reviewing it against what's actually happening. So we at WaterPro, Lawn Hub and Railways have our daily sales report emailed company-wide. Every team member knows how we're tracking on sales against our budgeted turnover. And there'll be a graph, you'll see a line, and there'll be a straight line of the goal, and then there'll be a wiggly line, hopefully above that line. And then it enables us to make changes. So if halfway through the month or even a week into the month, we're not looking like we're gonna hit budget, I can get involved and say, what's happening here? Do we have anything on the horizon? Are our resources too big? Have we got too many people in a certain area, or is it just a case that we've got big work coming and then we can make decisions? It sounds real simple, but the reality is not a lot of people are doing it. And then we have a once a month sales meeting where we review the profit and loss, so the actual against the budget. So it'll tell us what we actually turned over, what our wages were, what our work cover cost was, what our payroll tax is. Thanks state government, that's a really good tax. And everything goes into this budget, and then we'll have budget versus actual. So we'll compare what we thought we were going to do to what we did. And again, it gives us an opportunity to make tweaks, increase potentially the margins that we're making, change the way the freight's managed, negotiate with our suppliers, whatever it might be. And if you want to be a great business person, that's part of what you need to be doing. Otherwise, you're flying blind. And I've done it before, and I've spoken to business owners that have done it. You get to the end of a year, you've worked your ass off, and you haven't been watching the numbers, and you get a 2.2 or a 3.1% gross profit, and you were chasing a 10 or a 12, and it just feels like shit. And in a lot of cases, if the business is small enough, you would have made more money with a job. So have a look at your budgets. It doesn't have to be detailed. You can Google it. You go look up, how to do a basic business budget. Google a budget spreadsheet template, an Excel budget spreadsheet template. Download the budget, have a play with it. Hopefully you've got some kind of financial professional working with you, an accountant or a bookkeeper. Get them to run their eyes over it. And remember, no one cares about your money more than you. And the advisors are there to give advice, but you need to make the decision. So, but you also pay them people a lot of money, so listen to them. Anyway, that is it. Hopefully that helps at least one of you out there. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.